What's up and welcome back to the Traders Brawl podcast. I'm Adel, welcome. I am the host and today I am here with Jamie from Divine.
Divine Fi, yeah.
Divine Fi.
Or the Divine, whatever you want to call it.
Welcome back, guys. We are here to educate, we are here to listen and speak with entrepreneurs, but also not just talk about the work-life balance, but also what the behind the scenes is in terms of how to build a company, how to sustain yourself mentally, and how to take this forward successfully. So today we'll be talking to Jamie about what he's building in the Web3 space. We actually met at the Crypto Expo this month. Yeah. Loved your outfit, saw your booth, had to come and say hi. Shout out to Sam as well. Sam's here in the room. Jamie, over to you. Just give us a quick intro about yourself.
Yeah, where do you want me to start?
Anywhere.
Okay, well, I was born in...
There you go.
No, I've been an entrepreneur my entire life. I just never really fit in with the whole crowd mentality of going to the school and getting the job. My mom gave me a Rich Dad Poor Dad when I was 13 years.
I love that book.
Yeah, I know.
Love that book.
Serious.
Robert Kiyosaki.
Dude, what a legend. So I read that at 13, and by 14 I was like, I gotta get the fuck out of this high school. Got into sales, did door to door, and I was a totally shy and I was telling you a sick kid. So that was a big transformation for me to go from not talking to anyone to knocking on 100 doors a night. Mm-hmm. Selling newspaper subscriptions. Mm-hmm. And then next thing you know, a year later doing that part-time after school, I was making more than my business teachers in the school, and it's like, well, I think I'm gonna leave here,
You're right.
So, I've had tons of crazy roller coaster rides, ups and downs, trials and errors, had dozens of different businesses and failures, and but never had an actual job. So I never got paid a salary. I always did full commission or my own business.
Wow.
Yeah, I was flipping concert tickets on eBay at 13 to give you an idea. Wow. Just because I wanted to go to Hillary Duff. She was my idol at the time.
Wow.
So and then crypto just fell into my lap 2015, 2016. I went to a meetup downtown Vancouver, where I was born, Canada. And the guy started telling me about Bitcoin. There was about 8 of us in the room. I'm like, this guy sounds really smart. I have no idea what he's saying, but I downloaded the app and got a little Bitcoin, and it was like $400 at the time. And of course, like all of us that got into crypto, didn't buy enough of it, right?
Yeah.
Like you can never buy enough, right?
Never.
But did really well in that journey. Got into AI trading back when no one even knew what AI was. It was 2017. Imagine going to your parents or your friends and family saying, I have a robot that's multiplying my money. Mm-hmm. Like they just couldn't even fathom it or believe it.
Right.
But the ones that did, they were happy, and we had some crazy rides with that. And there was always owners and egos that got in the way. So the great thing about the AI trading was it doesn't have fear, doesn't have greed, so it would just run the trading strategies properly and efficiently.
Right.
But the problem always was the guys behind the systems that were getting in the way, fighting, and the egos. And so we've had multiple separations and failures because of that, and then got to the point where I was like, I just got to create it all myself and put all the pieces together with actual trustworthy people with integrity, and that's where we're at today.
I see. So you're building an AI trading bot that trades on your behalf without any emotions and things like that.
Yeah, the first experience I had was 2017, and I went through dozens and dozens of people and trading bots. And then ultimately fell on the knowing that I needed to work directly with the developers myself.
Right.
The biggest thing with algorithmic trading is, as we all know, the market shifts constantly. And so many people, they go and license or buy a bot that isn't being updated, isn't directly from the developer. And then 3 months later, when the market shifts, the strategy is not working, and then they crashes their account.
Right.
And if they don't have proper stop losses and risk management, there goes all your gains, right? True. Overnight. True. So yeah, we have multiple developers now, both in crypto and Forex. And it's been a fun ride.
Interesting. So you're already live. DivineFi is the name of the bot.
DivineFi is actually our entire ecosystem.
Okay.
So within that, we have multiple Forex bots. We're developing our crypto bots. We have a crypto fund that's, we have a manual team buy and holding. So in the AI and gaming space. And it's just a 12-month period where they do what they do and buy and hold the best, and we get the gains. So that alone, last 3 months as an example, is up about 150%, and bull run hasn't even started, right? Like Ethereum's just getting its game on, and then after that it goes into the other layers, right?
Right. So walk me through how this works. How did you build an AI bot?
Well, I'm definitely not the technical side of things. So for me, I make connections, right? So as I told you, the years of going through the right and wrong people, narrowing down to who's trustworthy, who's not, who's actually getting the results, who's not, who's willing to get on live calls with us all of the time and show us what's actually happening, and then who's sustained their consistent results and didn't lose our money over time, right? And so we've narrowed it down to a couple guys out of like dozens and dozens, right?
Right.
And I just work directly closely with them, and they do their thing. So it's not like I'm the one programming it behind the scenes.
No, it makes sense. You're the founder, so you focus on your craft, which is making connections and getting people onboarded. But behind the scenes, this is live and ready. So what for a customer who's interested, what's the onboarding process like?
Well, there's multiple pillars to it, so it depends. Do they want to onboard into the Forex fund? Do they want to onboard into the crypto fund? We just are launching our banking side of things. So as you know, being in crypto, the worst thing to deal with is the traditional banks.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times have they blocked your transaction because you're buying on crypto.com or whatever? Like, as soon as they see crypto in the name, you're getting frozen and you got to call in, yeah, it was me, it wasn't fraud. And they're like, just keep your money in the bank. Right? Like, seriously. Imagine, I was telling the guys last night, it's like, just imagine if I presented an investment opportunity to you, and over the last 4 years, on average, we lost 15 to 20% every year. Would you do that deal?
Never.
Well, that's exactly what the fiat system is.
Exactly.
Hyperinflation, especially since COVID.
And
right?
0% interest, right? You keep your money at the bank. What
it's not zero, it's negative,
it's negative
15 to
Wait,
20.
It's negative?
It's negative.
Really?
Because of inflation.
Oh, because of inflation. Yeah, I thought you were saying.
But most people don't know that.
We don't. Yeah.
What do they see? Oh, the price of the milk went up 20%. No, it didn't. Your fucking dollar went down 20%. Right? The value of the dollar, and then, I mean, it's down over the last century. 98%. It's down. So if you've been saving your money in your piggy bank or hiding it under your mattress, or the bank, like you're saying, gives you 0.01%.
Right.
Some countries, they'll give you 3% or 5%, but you're still not keeping up with inflation.
No, you're not keeping up at all.
And then people think that the actual inflation rate is 3 to 5% like they tell you. But they get to cherry pick what grocery list they put in that little basket, and then they base it on 4 items and say, that's the inflation rate. No, it's the bread that only went up 4%, but the milk went up 20%, and you didn't include that in the basket,
Right.
Like,
yeah, I know.
Yeah, so it's just a big fugazi on the fiat system, so that's why we all believe so strongly in the crypto space, right?
Yes, the CPI index, consumer price index, is one metric, but it's not the only one we should take into account. It is a basket of goods, but no, I get why we're on this space. We're here because Bitcoin is deflationary. Crypto in general tend to be deflationary if there's a limited cap in supply. Provided that there is demand, then there will be, over time, the value will increase, right? 1 Bitcoin now is worth 70K, right? You can buy probably a Tesla with it. I don't know if you can buy it, depending where you are, but you can buy much more that you could back then when Bitcoin was trending around like 20K, $400 back then. But whereas a dollar today, what can a dollar get you? You know what I mean?
Not much.
Not much.
Not even that bottle of water.
And it's decreasing.
Yeah.
Whereas Bitcoin's increasing.
Of course, yeah.
So
it's the exact opposite system.
Completely. So with that said, DivineFi, so it's an ecosystem.
Yes.
And within that, you've got multiple different products. Is that right? But the main, one thing that holds it all together, common denominator, is the AI bot. Is that correct? Or are there different products within that ecosystem?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I started with, and that was the most exciting part to me, right? And like we had our booth, as you saw, at the Crypto Expo, and people were coming up and they really wanted the banking side. They were asking me all these banking questions. Right. And of course, I've put the right banking partners that have global banking licensing, and they've been developing their banking side for 4 years with, multiple seven figures invested in all that system. And to me, when someone comes up and they weren't interested in the AI trading, they were interested in the debit card that I get that I can spend my crypto. I'm like, yeah, that's cool, it solves the problem, but like to sit here and talk about a transactional product, like seriously, I'm bored to tears. I had to call the banking partner over multiple times. I just talk to these guys because seriously, you know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, to me, the most exciting is let's multiply our money.
Yeah, thank God.
Right?
So
yeah.
So is there a minimum amount that needs to be put in before you can start trading for me?
So that's the coolest part, I think, because I grew up with nothing. When I got into the space, I mean, I had my last $1,000 that I was playing with, type thing, and back in 2017. And I've done well over the years, and so now I was at the point where I could do institutional level. And that's where I was finding these actual reputable traders that had their systems. I mean, one of our guys, Brad, he's in the US, he's been developing systems for 20 plus years. Right, this is a guy that's just, he knows, and like I said, he's a trustworthy guy, gave us the results. That's what matters at the end of the day. So for him, for example, to take on a client, you're looking at 6 figures plus, right? Like he deals with institutional level. Our other guy, Josh, who handles the crypto fund and also another Forex trading system, he's looking at 250,000 minimum. And then with his just crypto fund, he just wanted to do it for friends and family, 50,000 minimum, right? So what I decided to do was be the bridge for the guy that, like me before, only has 500 or $1,000, right? So I went to Brad, I said, hey, here's the funds that you need to trade the account. Now let's create sub-accounts for the clients, and they can put minimum 500 bucks. Did the same thing with Josh. And he was a little skeptical at first because he's like, well, the legal side, if we open this up to the public, right? I said, I want to give it to my whole community. He said, well, the legal side. I said, let me figure that out. Made some calls. Next thing you know, we're fully licensed in the overseas unregulated territory, and hey, we're good. So now anyone with 500 bucks can be a part of the crypto fund. And so that's how we solved the problem and bridged the gap from institutional, that's actually the trustworthy ones. Right. The retail guys get frickin' smacked with all the scams and schemes, and it's really hard to find something legitimate in that space.
So you make it affordable.
Make it affordable for everyone, yeah.
500 bucks, that's all you need, and to get started. And then has this bot, what are the sort of returns you can see on this bot?
So it depends on the Forex or crypto side, but let's talk about
Let's talk crypto. Please.
Well then, do you want like the Bitcoin bot or do you want the meme coin?
I want all.
Yeah.
Follow the money.
Yeah. So the Forex is definitely, it's the most established long term. That's if someone's like new to investing and they're really not looking to take a lot of risk. We're looking at, on the conservative side, 3 to 5% per month. Okay. With the Forex system. Okay. The crypto, as I said with Josh, just in the last 3 months, and it's going to vary, but what the bull run is doing. But and I know we haven't even got started, but he's over 100% in the last 3 months.
100% monthly?
No, sorry. In the last 3 months.
Oh, in the last 3 months.
Total.
Okay.
Yeah. And then okay, you're pulling it out of me, I guess. You said you want it all. Last week, for example, we have a Telegram bot that I'm testing, okay? Testing, we're not doing this yet to everyone, but I will open it to people that just understand the risk, okay? But we did one trade with a Solana, like low cap, okay? and 236% in 2.5 hours.
Wow.
Okay, so there's something
this is
for
crypto. When you
something
hear-
for everyone.
No, but this is crypto. This can go both ways. You can get
yes.
236% up, but you can also
You
get
can
down.
go down 90% the next day. 100%.
That's true. That's also true. That's worth noting. So I guess back to the crypto side, monthly. Do you have a figure on the monthly? You mentioned 3 months.
Yeah.
Are you still testing it out? Is it still like in beta?
Yeah, the actual full automated one, we're still developing the crypto side.
Got it.
So what we're really focused on, the best returns right now, is what Josh is doing and holding certain AI and gaming coins.
Got it.
So it's just depending on what they're doing, but we have the whole team overseeing that
Got it.
system right now.
Got it. And how big's the team?
The trading team, well, we got a group in Colombia, a group in Switzerland. I mean, probably a few dozen right now.
Yeah, I'm just trying to build a picture of how this is going to work. So I'm just curious. Let's say like something goes wrong, and I don't know, you want to cash out. How does the customer cash out? Is there a centralized system they need to call up, message, and say, "Can I take my cash out?" How does it work?
Well, on the fully automated crypto bot side, that you can hook up to your exchange, so that's different. That's like you're in control of that the whole time.
Okay.
For the actual fund, Josh wanted to do the bull run when we started it a few months ago, a 12-month period. Now, is there leeway to cash out earlier if you want to take it? Yes, of course. But we just wanted to give people the perspective of, okay, like, let's just consider a 12-month period, you know, because we don't know exactly when the bull run's totally going to run, and we really wanted to do a 10x so we wanted to do 1,000% on the fund, you know, and he's just over 100 now, but that's up to the community, you know. It's like, if you guys want to pull out your initial investment after 100%, like, we're totally fine with that. We're flexible.
Got it. All right. And if you don't want to, you can compound that. It's whatever
100%.
gains you make,
Yeah.
it just goes back in and continues the cycle.
I'll tell you one. This was the best one that I did. Okay, this wasn't every trade, but back in December, picked up Moon Tropica and sold it at the height about a month ago. And I was just testing, but $1,000 turned into $68,000.
Really?
Yeah.
And how long?
Well, it was December 1st, and then I sold. I'd have to check the exact date, but where are we, May right now? I think it was March or April I sold it, hey? So we're talking 3 months.
3 months. So you turned $1,000 into $68,000.
Yeah.
Wow.
And now you're not going to do that with everyone.
68x, isn't it? Surely.
Yeah, it was like
Sounds like a
6,000% or whatever.
Sorry, yeah.
Whatever the frickin'.
Whatever.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Okay, no, that's wow. I mean, this is crypto.
I'll show you that trade on my phone too, just so you can.
I really want to
confirm
see
with
this.
your-
No, I would
yeah.
love to see this.
He's
later,
filming, so when we're done.
Later.
I'll show it to you after.
But this is.
You can make
this
a little
is-
clip for your, just so, hey, he's not bullshitting.
He's not
The lie
bullshitting.
detector was real.
No lie detectors here just yet, but no, Jamie, this is next level stuff. So I'm curious now to know, like, is this going to replace jobs? Is AI bot trading going to just replace the 9 to 5?
Bro, 100%. Like, that's the exact vision I saw back in 2017. It was like, holy shit, like, this is a passive income vehicle. Because I never wanted to get into trading and like reading charts and shit. Like, that just wasn't my.
Yeah, me neither.
I wasn't into it. Like, I like hanging
Why?
out and chatting with, you know.
Exactly.
Like, I've always been on the marketing side. Like, I just love people and sharing
Even if you
ideas.
were, you'd still be subjected to emotions and greed and
Yes.
fear and anxiety and then sleepless nights, you know?
And that's a whole other topic that you may or may want to go down on the consciousness side, which is the other major pillar in our community. And we'll talk about that if you want, because that's runs everything in your life.
100%. But before we get to that,
back to
you decided to create this system. I mean, this bot because you yourself never. You mentioned you never did a 9 to 5. Right.
Never did a 9 to 5. Yeah, always entrepreneurial. And I was really attracted to the network marketing space, the MLM space.
Oh, yeah.
I know. It sounds funny.
Marketing.
Yeah, it does. It sounds funny, and a lot of it's very misunderstood. And even me, I had some negative experiences and like vowed that I would never fucking do it again. Like I'm sure many people. But the reason that I saw the model, like I've been on both sides. I've built large companies traditionally, and then I've built MLM and not even my own companies. And the difference, not only like the excitement, the growth, like I'll give you one example. We were in the beginning stage of Monavie back in 2010. It was a juice company, okay? So they sold juice. It was like in a glass bottle, fancy acai. It was before anyone knew what acai berry was, right? So they were like, yeah, deep in the Himalayas, we found the acai berry, you know, like whatever. But the MLM structure is what made it exciting to everyone. And I had this one couple, they owned a blueberry farm in Canada.
Right.
Multi-million-dollar blueberry farm, okay, traditional business. They were making more money in just a few months from the MLM of just inviting people to their living room to see the juice berry company than they were their blueberry operation, their whole farm, okay?
Wow.
And that company went from 0 to $1 billion with a B in 3.5 years, just less than 3.5 years. It was the fastest company to ever hit $1 billion, not an MLM company, any company, okay, just to give you an idea. And I've seen that over and over again. And the thing with the MLM space is you got two sides of it. Number one, you got all the Ponzi's and the frickin' pyramid schemes and the total scams.
Right.
And then on the other side, you have the guys that have been doing it for a while and they're boring as fuck products. Like the juices or the vitamins or the shampoos or the skin creams or the protein powders. And who's gonna get excited about selling that shit? But the thing is that even they're selling those boring ass products, they're filling stadiums every 3 months. No other industry does that, right? So and then being on the founding side, like seeing the difference. Anyway, the reason I was so attracted to that model was because I was seeing people that were slaves to their job. We had this one guy in the Philippines, he was an engineer, top paying guy, job in the Philippines, right? In 1 month with the MLM we were doing at the time, this was back in 2019, 1 month replaced his income from his engineering job. He was completely free, and all he did was travel around the Philippines telling everyone his fucking story, like I just quit engineering for this company.
Really?
I swear. And we had 300 people in a hotel room 2 months later because of him just running around in the Philippines. It was crazy. But yeah, like I've never believed in having a job. I've never, I hired 80 employees last year in our traditional way of doing it. I couldn't tell them to come to the office. We built 2 offices. We let them all stay home and work from wherever they wanted, whenever they wanted. I was paying them salaries and I never even picked up the phone to check if they were working. Okay, like we just hired more than we needed so that the jobs would get done. And because even that, I felt bad for even having them as an employee because I'd never be one myself.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And I had my right-hand man who's the COO now of the company. And it's like, I could never give him his salary and tell him, take a month off or 3 months off or whatever. But he did that in the MLM that we built because he built his income up, the team was going without him, and he could take months off and it didn't matter. Like passive, actual, real residual income, you know?
Wow.
But how can you do that in a job?
No, never.
Yeah, so that's why, whatever I've been able to find to help people elevate from that slavery system. You know,
for the audience, for those who may not be very well acquainted with the term MLM, could you give a brief intro of what it is and what it contains? Yeah,
totally. So it just stands for multi-level marketing. Many people call it network marketing now. And so the only difference, I was actually telling my fiance because she had never heard of MLM. And just last week, we just decided, like, I was so fucking bored in the way that we were building the company. And we did the crypto expo and they asked me to speak on stage a couple times, right?
Right.
Dude, the size of that audience, we're talking the biggest crypto event in the world, in the leading edge country, like the crypto city in the world. And there was probably a couple thousand people that went through there, but the actual size of the audience, I don't know if you went in the conference.
I was.
Bro, we had more people in our living room at our MLM parties within a couple of weeks than that whole audience, okay? But doing the whole stage thing, I was like, it brought me back to the MLM days, and I got so freaking excited about turning our whole ecosystem into an MLM. So anyway, I was telling my fiance, I was like, we're doing MLM now. And she's like, what the hell is MLM? I was like, oh, okay, yeah, okay. I got out the little notepad and like showed her, because I saw it for the first time almost 20 years ago, like 16, right, in Canada. Like it brought me out of poverty.
Right.
But so I showed her on the napkin or the notepad. It was so the traditional company, basically you have sales managers, because the only thing that makes money in a company is sales.
Sales.
Everything else is an expense.
Yeah.
And even if you're an employee, if you don't know how to sell yourself to the employer, you're not going to get the job, or you're going to lose the job pretty quickly. You know, like sales really does matter. Especially when you're running a company. Like you just know, it's like everything is an expense. We need to have the sales. So in that structure, you have usually 2 levels, which you got the sales manager that trains the salespeople. The salespeople go out and make a sale, they make a commission. If they don't make a sale, they don't make a commission. Then the sales manager, he gets an override over the sales reps that he trained. So they sell, he makes the commission. And that's usually where it stops. Now all the rest of the money, guess where it goes? To the fucking founder, to the owner.
Of course.
Right? The actual pyramid scheme, the guy at the top makes all the money, that's what they say about MLM. But that's the truth, is that the founders and the owners of the actual companies is who makes all the money. Because it's like, you can't pay enough salary to equal what you're making as a founder if the company's successful, like seriously. And I've been on that experience. So then I told her, in network marketing, you build a network, and every single person on that line, so if a sale is made down here, every single person in that line, you may not even know who they are. Usually you don't. Everyone gets paid up the line, and everyone gets paid equally. So the owner or the sales rep, because now everyone's a sales manager in the MLM model, right? Because it's more than the 2 levels, it's multiple levels, that's all it stands for. And it can go to in some plans, infinite levels deep. So a sale's made all the way down here, boom, everyone up the chain gets paid.
Oh, everyone gets.
Everyone. So it fosters this collaboration and teamwork that doesn't happen in traditional business, because everyone's just out to get their sale.
Their own, yeah.
Their own sale, right? And then you can't take any time off in that model, or else you don't make any money. When I was in sales, I didn't make a commission if I took time off. I had to go back eventually because my money would run out, you know? But in the network marketing model, I've built teams. I mean, I've signed up 15 people personally that turned into thousands. And I was making residual income off of thousands of products being sold every month. And I took many months off. And I lived the semi-retired life. And I got real fucking bored, by the way. I don't recommend it. But if you haven't tried it, it's worth trying.
Of course.
You know, everyone's a little different. But yeah, I mean, and then putting the 2 worlds together, which is what we've done now, the AI trading, like you're talking about, automation taking over, and then the networking model of like, it just spreads like wildfire. We met on our very first meeting, this was just 2 days ago, that we showed the new plan. And there was a Filipino in the room. He's living in Dubai now. And he showed us in the last 8 months, he built a crypto company, and it ended up being one of those Ponzi scams, of course, right? Like they only lasted 8 months. But he signed up 15 people, and 43,000 people came into his business through the 15 in 8 months. He made millions of dollars. Wow. Now, just take that excitement, that growth, and that way of doing things, and everyone getting equal opportunity, and putting an actual, real, legitimate, and exciting product attached to it. No one's ever done that yet until us. So that's where we're at.
But in multi-level marketing, do you are the targets that you try and get people to do it for you, are they mainly influencers so that they can sort of influence the product to their own communities?
There's definitely.
Or it doesn't matter?
It really doesn't matter, because let's say I know you, and let's say you're not an influencer. You know, let's say I'm just using you as an example, but you know, whatever, you got a small network of people.
Yeah.
But you do know Sam, who is a frickin' influencer.
Right.
I don't know Sam. You know Sam, right? And I never would have met Sam unless I met you.
Right.
And you connected Sam.
Right.
And now Sam's the influencer. He makes the Instagram live, and thousands of people sign up into the system because of Sam.
Right.
Well, both you and I get credit for that. That's the difference. Whereas in the traditional model, we would hire Sam as an influencer. He would go and market to his people. He would make a sales commission. The company would make the rest, and that's it. That's where it stops. Right?
Right.
Yeah.
I see. Whereas in here, we both benefit because
everyone
benefits.
Everyone.
But even those, when you say everyone, even those who didn't make a sale still benefit off of this individual making a sale.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because if I only signed you up, and maybe you signed Sam, who wasn't an influencer, and he didn't know that many people, but then he came across an influencer.
Yeah.
We all get paid.
We all get paid.
Do
we all get paid the same amount, or is it different because he brought in the influencer?
There's a small upfront commission that he would make for being the direct sale.
Right.
It's a small direct sale bonus.
Right.
But the actual, where all the money is, the residual income and what everyone's doing it for, it's all the same for everyone.
Got it. No, that's a better example. So you've done and you're doing MLM.
Yeah, this is like literally just a few. What was it? Wednesday, I think, that we landed on this. So it all came together the last few days. So literally, when we met at the Crypto Expo, we were doing it the traditional way. We had an affiliate model. Right. Anyone could sign up as an affiliate program.
Right.
It's one level. It's a glorified sales job. Like, you don't get very far with that model.
No, you don't.
It's a slow fucking way.
Yeah, very slow.
And it's so boring.
Very.
And it's no events. Like last year we did it that way, and the company made millions, but we did one event. We sponsored the Forex Expo in Miami. And it was the highlight of the year, bro. And the rest of the year, boring ass business shit, right? Like just the stuff you have to do in traditional way. And it was like all of our results came from that one event. All of the excitement came from like the whole, in the whole year, that was the funnest part, right? So I go to Sam, I'm like, man, we got to start doing like way more events. And that's like how it all started. And he's like, that's what MLM is. All it is you inviting to events. And that's why they fill stadiums every 3 months, right?
Right.
Or they're doing it in their living room to start, and then it goes to a hotel room, and then the hotel room goes to the arena, the ballroom, and then, like that's how it does. Like massive duplication, multiplication. So then it was like, instead of doing the fun shit 1% of the time, the event once a year, right? The annual crypto event, what if we did that 99% of the time, and we did the boring shit 1% of the time? So now, since the Crypto Expo, we've had an event every single day. Every single day. And they've been bigger than that Crypto Expo audience. We took who we met at the booth at the expo. We had them on a yacht that first night.
You invited me.
And and then another yacht the second night.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then the third night we filled the Ritz-Carlton Royal Suite.
Oh, yeah?
And then last night we filled the address, and we were all up at the world's highest infinity pool on the 77th floor to celebrate.
Really? At the address?
Yeah.
In downtown?
The beach.
The beach.
Address Beach, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And we're doing another one tonight.
Tonight?
Tonight.
Where?
And you're welcome to come at the Address Beach. Yeah.
Again?
Yes.
77th floor?
Yeah. 55 is where we're
That's
staying.
crazy. That's crazy.
I know,
That's crazy. Wow.
I know. It is fucking crazy.
No, people are sluts for events.
Oh yeah, totally. Well, that's the funnest part, man. Like seriously. But that's all we do now. And me and Sam haven't been so excited for a good while, because he's had 10 years of MLM experience too, but when did you vow off of never doing it again? 2 years? 3 years ago? So he's been doing traditional business and building his own companies for the last 3 years. And we talked, and it's just like, we've been bored out of our fucking minds. We wanted to just crawl our eyes out.
Yeah.
Because we knew the difference, right? We had that exciting time before.
Yeah.
And now we were trying to do it the real business way and the professional way. It's like, we've never been so jacked up this last few days.
That's crazy. That is crazy. Wow. Wow.
And then I had my fiance who's like, saw it for the first time, and she's like, oh my God, she's never been so excited. She immediately calls her friend in the Philippines who's in college right now, has this shitty ass job, paying for college the last 4 years, and she gets excited. She's like, what? Like, there's another way? Like, I don't have to be a slave to this school and to this job? Like, and then she got excited, and they started sharing it, and we're like, holy shit, we haven't even put together like the MLM back office yet. Like, we need to get that done.
Right.
So we made some calls, and normally something like that would take months to finish. I found the 2 top teams in Dubai. One of them said they could do it in 20 to 30 days. I said, that's too slow. We have a pre-launch event tonight. And then the next guy said, I can have the first version so everyone can sign up Monday night. And that was yesterday, so it was like 2 days later.
Okay, I'm processing all this.
I bet, yeah.
I am processing everything. You know, as an events host, myself, an MC, and also a podcast host, my job is to always try and keep a neutral view. So I've heard your view, amazing stuff. I want to try and keep this neutral and say, okay, what are some caveats to this? I mean,
please.
Hosting an event must be costly. Catering, renting it out. How do you manage the cost? Is this sustainable long term?
Yeah, great question. So obviously where I'm at and the level that I can do it at is much different than where we started. We were broke, and you know, we'd go to the local Starbucks and they would kick us out because 15, 20 people would show up over the couple days that we were there. You know?
Right.
But the point is that we still made it happen. We still became free out of our poor situations doing it that way. So it's like, you can start from anywhere. I don't care if you're making an Instagram, you go down to the Burj Khalifa, you could do a live video, you could do a webinar from anywhere. That costs you absolutely nothing. You can go to the Starbucks, you can invite them over to your apartment living room and say, I got something to show you. You know, like, you can make calls around the world now. Like, we're social network society, right?
Yeah.
Like, my fiance, she's like, I could make a fucking TikTok and have 1,000 people interested in this tomorrow, like today, like, you know what I mean? So it was very different. Like, when I first saw it when I was 16, it was 2006, okay? It was like, Facebook didn't exist, you know? Like, I literally had to write a list of the people that I knew, like, through my parents and grandparents, and like invite them to the coffee shop to like sit with the guy that could show them the business plan. You know, like, much different.
Right.
Compared to how many people are gonna see this just from this streaming video that we made, and it costs us absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And we don't need to spend any money on advertising, and it's like...
That's virtual, but we're talking physical, right?
Yeah.
These are physical events, which require renting.
Well, we do both.
Oh, you do both.
So last night we had the physical. We had it in the living room of our apartment at the address.
At the address.
So we ordered coconuts. That was the cost. Okay, we ordered coconuts for 20 people.
Right.
On noon or whatever.
Love it.
On the app. And then we went up to the 77th floor and just celebrated. Like, everyone got the juices. Like, we don't drink alcohol or anything.
Oh, good.
Really good. And I paid for their juice, but they could have paid for their own juice.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's not, you know, but yes, if you go to the Ritz-Carlton and rent out the frickin' suite, it's going to cost you.
It's going to cost you, right?
But you don't need to do it that way.
You don't need to.
No. And literally the next day, we were in the living room, cost us nothing. And there was, 20 plus people there the first time, and then we did it a second time that same night, last night. And at the same time, we did a webinar for people around in our Facebook community. Really and there was about 50 people live on the call, on the webinar, and now it's on an evergreen replay. And that costs you nothing, like, seriously.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
So only the physical side costs, right? Because the virtual is free, you just need Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Physical, I'm assuming when you do the physical events, it's for a specific occasion. Is that right? When you had the Ritz, was that a specific occasion? Or the yacht?
Well, the yacht was like, hey, we're going to be at the Crypto Expo.
Yeah.
We got the booth. I'm speaking.
Yeah.
We should have something cool to invite people to. Like, that's how it just organically happened.
Yeah.
So yeah, the yacht costs some money, right?
Right.
Of course. But like, who else did that? No one else didn't do that. And you don't need to do that, right? There's plenty of people all over the world that are doing big things in MLM that don't have.
Because here's the thing about events. I myself, I'm an event host, and I've done meetups myself here.
Yeah.
You can get sponsors that you get them in to sponsor your event. That's no problem. reaching out and closing a sale. But then you see some people who would argue, I sponsor this event, but what's my ROI? Just views and eyeball reach, but I don't get a direct like money out of this event. I just have my booth there and that's it, or I just have my yacht and that's it. I'm just trying to show the other side of things.
100%, yeah.
Others would see it as, yeah, it's not meant to make you money. It's just purely a publicity stunt, and it works very well. It does. It may work well in some cases, and in other cases, some expos I won't name, not the greatest turnout, and you realize, oh, I paid a booth like $10K for this, and hardly anyone's filling the stadium.
Yeah, well,
like,
I mean, that was
damn.
our experience at the Crypto Expo. Like,
I didn't want to say it, but
no,
you know.
yeah. I'll say it. You still got the lie detector on, right? No, straight up, bro. Yeah, for sure. It was a total waste. That's what I was saying to Sam. I was like, we could have had more people in our fucking living room, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, like bottom coconuts.
God.
And actually had like a bonding, like building relationships, and like actually had, you know, real partners, you know. And again, going from that traditional model where it's like, yeah, you need to make a sale to get the ROI.
Right.
Compared to, we're just hanging out and we're meeting friends and we're showing them, and they want to be a part of it, and we're building this community, and next thing you know, you're ranking up and your income's going up and up and up, and now you can start doing bigger things and that sort of deal, right? But we all started with fucking nothing, dude. Like,
it's crazy.
Yeah, the one that we built in Philippines 2019, we were literally like, my partner Josh, he flew from Canada to Philippines. He was making, and we did that online at first, like making Facebook connections. That's how we met the one guy in Philippines. But he was at the second rank in the company, so it was like $1,500 a month. It doesn't go very far in Canada, especially. When we got to the Philippines, it was like, oh, that actually, like, you can survive.
You can.
Yeah, right? So we got a little bit bigger of a place. We all pitched in together. I was at like a couple ranks above, so I was at 5,000, which is like super rich for the Philippines, right?
Yeah.
And we pulled together and got this like mansion, basically, 5-bedroom place, and we just started inviting people to the living room.
Wow.
And it was cool, like, especially because out in, I noticed, I don't know, where are you from originally?
Mauritius originally.
Oh, fuck.
Mauritius
That's
Island.
super cool. Okay.
Thanks.
So Sam's from the US, I'm from Canada.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the mentality is, like from your part or this part for MLM, but over there it was like, someone always had some type of negative experience, like, oh, fucking MLM.
Yeah.
Fucking pyramid scheme.
Pyramid scheme.
Yeah, no, I'll stick to my job, you know?
Yeah.
Like, they just have the terrible mentality about it.
Yeah.
And we were used to dealing with that because we'd been in MLM for a while. As soon as we went out to Philippines, bro, it was the complete opposite. So we'd do the presentation, and then they would say, is this MLM? And we were used to the Canadian Americans being like, is this MLM, right? So we'd be like, trying to like, well, yeah, like kind of, you know, like start dance around it.
Yeah.
But they were like, oh, I love MLM. You know, like it was the complete different. Like,
really?
Yeah, because they're so, like they don't get taken care of by the government there. They don't have any entitlement with like cushy, comfortable paying jobs. Like they need to hustle and connect with people to make things happen. So they're used to that, right? And they know people, the only way they got out of poverty is through MLM. Like that's the only way.
Right.
So it was a total different experience.
The bottom line is, in order for any MLM to be successful, a sale still needs to take place.
100%.
So now, here's the thing. If everybody is on this MLM thing, and everybody is a seller, there's no buyer out there, then then it doesn't work.
It'd be a great problem to have when we have 8 billion people in our network, yeah.
Yeah, that would be a great problem to have. Yeah,
I'll be okay with that.
I wouldn't mind that, no. But if everyone's like, oh, I'm part of this, I'm part of this. Oh, you're part of this too. I was trying to sell this to you, but you're part of this too.
Well, that's already happening in traditional business. You're working for whatever company, or you're building your own company, and you have whatever product.
Yeah.
And you have a sales team that's doing that. And then the next company right down this fucking street corner or like down the hallway is selling a bunch of other shit. Like that is capitalism. Like literally every single on this block is selling something different, right?
Yeah.
So the difference is, who's getting to things first and early, who's setting the trends, right? Who's like the crypto event, like we're so early, like so early to crypto.
Yeah, we're slowly.
Right? Like seriously. Like the Ethereum ETF just got approved.
Just got approved.
Like finally Ethereum is now professional, you know, like not a scam, right? Like it's been regulated. So that's what I see is like, you gotta always be ahead of the curve, right? So for us, it's like, there's so many MLMs out there, right? But where's our competition? Protein shakes, vitamins, shampoos, skin creams, or crypto Ponzi's, pump and dumps, schemes, like seriously. So I'm not worried about running out of people joining our deal, but you know what I mean? And then it's like, you don't need 1 billion people to be set free. You know, like it multiplies quickly and you only need a few thousand to be getting paid more than any executive.
Well said.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
And normally the sales tend to be made like, I think, outside of the country, like international people, right?
Yeah, well, especially when you're dealing with, because all the companies are international, the MLMs, but a lot of them are shipping physical products. We're talking about digital products. That goes even faster.
Faster, right? There's no storing.
There's no storing, there's no borders, there's no manufacturing, there's no shipping, there's no nothing. It's like instantly, Sam can call his buddy in the US, he can sign up on the spot, and he can call 10 other people or fill a room without Sam even there, and it's already done, right? It's like instantly global.
Instant, yeah.
So where's the scarcity in that? It's not like we're only working with who will show up in the living room in Dubai. It's like we've already expanded to India and frickin' Philippines, and we just started this week. You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah.
Do you see a future of charging people for coming to these MLM events, or keeping it free?
Yeah, we've been doing it free, and like you can charge a small ticket price, and maybe that will cover your costs and whatever of the event. And some people do that.
Do you personally? No.
We haven't been doing that. No. But you can, like, just whatever you got to do. Like, if you don't have money for the event, that's a simple solution. Sell the tickets for $50, $100, and now you can pay the cost of the room, whatever you got to do, right? To make it feasible. But yeah, we've just been, you know, sharing the abundance, and everyone's showing up. So
really good, really awesome. Hey, I'd really like to delve deep into the health side of things.
Yeah.
So I want to ask, you know, you mentioned no alcohol, right? At the last event you held. What's the backstory to this? What got you into this?
Well, that's a great question, because I was straight up alcoholic, and that wasn't my only addiction. Okay. I was addicted to failure. I was addicted to sabotaging my success. I was addicted to failed relationships. I was addicted to betrayal in business. I was addicted to many things. So for the viewers, they can look up the consciousness scale by Dr. Hawkins. And that's a really good reference of where everyone's at, because it's from 0 to 1,000, and 1,000 is our natural pure state. That's pure consciousness, full awareness, exactly infinite like we are. But all of us developed some type of traumatic programming, traumatic event that created the programming that filled us with all these beliefs or lies about ourselves, both negative and positive. They're both lies. But to give you a reference, 80% of the population right now is under 200. 80% of the world today is under the level of 200. Another reference point, the level of 100 is fear. How many people do you know that are fear-based? Great idea comes to them, they fear themselves out of it, right?
True.
We show them the world's biggest, best financial opportunity they've ever seen, and they're afraid of rejection, so they don't tell anyone, right? Or COVID tells you you're gonna die, and they don't even leave their house, and they get 18 vaccines because they're full of fear, right? Where I was traveling all throughout COVID, all over the world, to any border that was open, never wore a mask, and never got a vaccine. Fuck, how did you do that, Jamie? I found a way, you know? But just as an example, right?
Right.
But I didn't start there. In fact, most of my life, up until about 4 years ago, was at the level of 125, which is the level of desire, which is where all the addictions come in. I was addicted to coffee, I was addicted to sex, I was addicted to weed, smoked weed every day. addicted to alcohol. Thought I was just a fun guy. Wouldn't have said I was an alcoholic, but you know, the every weekend partying turned into the everyday partying when I had all the freedom of time and money with the MLM, right? Now every day we were doing an event and every day I was drinking. You know what I mean? But it was because of that level of consciousness that I was at. So 4 years ago, I sought after a guy that could help me with that. And he ended up being just a master of consciousness, and he has a program, and I took it, and 2 hours later, I went from 125 to over 700. And to give you an idea of how crazy that is, the average human raises 5 points in a lifetime. So if you're at 100, by the end of your life, you'll be at 105.
How do you measure where you're at?
That's a great question. You want me to show you? I can show you right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Kinesiology. This is actually the way that you could test anything for truth and lie. We laughed about the lie detector test. I'm going to show you exactly what a lie detector test is. Okay, so it's a muscle test. We got to stand up.
Okay.
Okay. So is it okay? Can they see us?
Oh, we can't do it now.
We can't do it now.
Just
okay.
describe it to me.
Roger that. Okay. So basically, you're going to put out your arm.
Okay.
Okay.
Like that?
Yeah. I could do it sitting down.
Okay. Do it sit down.
Yeah. So just try not to let me move it.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you something truthful, and then I'm going to ask you a lie. Okay.
Okay.
And this is how you can test it.
Okay.
And then you just ask yourself where you're at on the consciousness scale. But you can ask any question. You can ask, is Jamie full of shit? And you know what I mean? So, so what's your name?
Adel.
Adel. Okay. So don't let me move it.
Yeah.
It's true your name is Adel.
Yes. Sorry, I'm not.
That's okay. Okay, you see the strength. It's just a test. You know, it's not a bodybuilding contest. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Now tell me a lie.
I'm wearing pink. What?
With my pinky. Do you see how weak you were?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's how you test.
That's how you test
anything. So do you want to know where you're at?
Yeah.
The consciousness scale?
I want to know where you're at.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's true. Adel's over the level of 200 consciousness.
I hope so.
Yeah. No, that's pretty strong.
I don't know if it is.
That's pretty strong.
But,
okay.
but I'm flexing right now.
It's okay.
What if I flex all the time?
Don't let me move it.
Yeah,
okay?
all the time.
Don't let me move it.
So flex all the time.
Whatever you gotta do.
Whatever I gotta do.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's true. Adel is over the level of 300 consciousness.
Yes.
Okay. It's true. Adel's over the level of 400 consciousness.
Yes. You're pressing harder.
Okay. I won't. I'll do the pinky. No, you're actually pretty strong. That's good.
Okay.
It's true. Adel's over the level of 500 consciousness.
Yes.
Okay. So you're somewhere around 400 to 500.
Okay, based on this.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. 400 is the level of logic and reason. Mm-hmm. So in fact, most of the personal development in the world today, the Tony Robbins and the guys that you would know, right? The Gary V's, the whoever's, that is where that system maxes out. The Elon Musk, okay, that system maxes out at 400. It's the intellectual system.
Okay.
After 500, you get into the actual emotions. Love, peace, joy, enlightenment. Okay? So very, very, very few on the planet today are over the level of 500.
I see.
We're talking out of 1,000. And remember, 1,000 is your natural state. Okay?
Right. And you measured this based on this exercise?
That's one way to do it, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are there other ways of measuring what level you're at?
That's the best way.
This is the best
Yeah,
way?
because that's the truth or lie.
But what if I'm just like a strong person, or somebody else is just strong, and they just held their out?
My mentor Don worked with Shaquille O'Neal. Of the Miami. He was working. He was with the Miami Heat at the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He did that test with them.
But is he able to reach his arm?
Shaq was literally sitting down.
Oh, he was sitting down?
And he was still taller than Don.
Than him, of course.
Okay?
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
And he wasn't able to bring his hand down or something?
Shaq went weak when he asked him a question that wasn't truth.
True. Oh,
yes.
I see.
And Don teased him like, oh, what's wrong, Shaq? You didn't work out today?
I need to. Is this on YouTube? I need to check this out.
It's everywhere. It's called muscle testing.
Muscle testing.
Yeah, you can find it everywhere. Dr. Hawkins went deep into it, but many other people, it's been scientifically proven.
Wow.
Like, yeah, it's a big deal because you're connected to the infinite intelligence, right? But this gets in the way. And so that's a way through kinesiology to connect to that energy to show you if it's truth or lie, not using this.
I see.
Everyone's using this, right?
Right. Okay, really brilliant.
Yeah.
I'd love to do a part 2 of this because we do have to wrap up. I would really like to go deep into the more conscious side of things.
Yeah.
But back to what you discussed in terms of what you're building with DivineFi and the ecosystem. Really, I want to follow this space and I want to see it through. I hope to attend your event tonight.
Please do. Yeah, you're always welcome.
I want to keep tabs on this. I want to make it to the moon.
Yeah, you will. You absolutely will.
Yeah.
And actually, so just to wrap up on the consciousness side, Don's the only person in the world that can do what he does. And since he did it with me, and I'm free of all of my shit, it happened to Sam too. Sam could tell his own story. I've never let that guy leave my sight. I brought him all over the world. Wow. He was working with the world's elite. He worked with many big companies. 7 years with the BlackBerry guys. 7 years. He worked with all their executives and everything. So many billionaires, and he was working with the elite when we met. And I said, Don, like, I know how to get like, we need to take this around the world, you know. And at first I wanted to do it as an MLM, and then we decided not to. We did the long, slow, boring way for the last 3 fucking years. And now we just put it all together, and it was like, so we got all the financial things, right? We got the actual system, and we got Don attending all of our events and doing the live transformation to raise you from wherever you are to the highest level.
So is he here? Is he here in Dubai?
He's here.
Oh,
He'll
wow.
be here tonight at the event, and
Wow.
he'll be doing the transformation. You'll leave that event a changed fucking person, whether you sign up for the company or not.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I look forward to it.
Yeah. So we can do a follow-up
We'll
after
do a
your
follow-up.
transformation.
We'll do a follow-up for sure.
You might even be wearing pink at that point.
Jamie, it's been real. It's
Thanks
been great.
for having me, man.
Really, really great to have you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being on the show. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Really hope you found this insightful. We'll leave all the links in the description of this YouTube video. All the links to Jamie's profile, his LinkedIn, and DivineFi will be present in the description. But for now, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Cheers!